Welcome to the You Empowered podcast with your host, Justine Jetty. If you want to unlock your potential and step into the most authentic, healthiest, and happiest version of you, then you're in the right place. Each week, we'll dive into practical, evidence-based strategies for your habits, mindset, and health so you can create a life and a body you love. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome back to this week's episode. Today we're going to be talking about how to get rid of cravings and late night snacks. Now I know this is something that is a problem for a lot of women, especially if you're in perimenopause, because in perimenopause as estrogen drops, a lot of women don't realize that impact that estrogen has as a hormone on the body is it also impacts hunger hormones, leptin and ghrelin. And on top of that, if you're someone in perimenopause right now listening to this who is also struggling with sleep also has a direct impact, unfortunately, on your hunger hormones, leptin and ghrelin as well. So unfortunately, if you're someone who's struggling with cravings and late night snacking, just know that's not a discipline problem or a motivation problem. It's a very real response to the changes that are hormonally happening for you in your body. And today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 very clear practical tips you can take away from today's lesson in order to combat that and to reduce cravings and late night snacking so that you can reach your goals a lot more easily. And I just want to stop here and say that if you want to find out the exact root causes and blocks that are preventing you and keeping you stuck from reaching your goals, there is a link in the show notes that will guide you to a free 2-minute evidence-based Peri Protocol that will give you a personalised report and action plan that will give you the clarity and practical precision that meets you exactly where you're at on your journey right now. And I can guarantee you it's more effective than the last 10 approaches you've tried in the last year. So go check that out in the show notes, but let's get into it. So if you're someone that struggles with cravings and late night snacking, you probably feel that you can't trust yourself around food fully. You might feel out of control with food. You might get a lot of thoughts surrounding food that cause you to overthink your choices or second guess yourself. And because of this often leads to you trying another method or plan or diet, which ultimately results in more restriction, whether you realize that or not, which is more rule following, more tightening up your diet. And that will either lead you to rebellion and hitting the fuck it button and blowing out, and then spiraling into guilt and shame, and then starting back again with a new method, a new plan, a new approach, or a new diet. And this is where I see so many women getting stuck in yo-yo dieting and plan hopping and getting stuck in that loop for many months and even for many years, because they don't realize that it's the same restrictive method just dressed up in a different plan or a different approach. But underneath it, it's still a unsustainable restrictive approach with food, with nutrition, and with weight loss that is just ultimately not sustainable for them long term and isn't going to give them lasting results. So if that's you and you're nodding along to this right now and you're like, yep, I've been there many a time, I just want you to know that it is not about your willpower, it is not due to your lack of motivation or discipline, and it's certainly not that your metabolism or that your body is broken. Essentially, the diet and fitness industry have made hundreds of billions of dollars of profiting of you keeping in that loop of yo-yo dieting and yo-yo plan hopping, because it keeps you as a reoccurring customer. So you've never actually had someone show you how to create the healthy habits and the nutritional skills that you need to create a sustainable and an enjoyable approach to your goals, whether that's a sustainable and an enjoyable calorie deficit that fuels both your energy, not just fat loss, and one that doesn't make you choose between enjoying your life and seeing results. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 very simple, practical steps to reduce your cravings and to stop the late night snacking. So let's start with the first practical step you can take to reduce your late night snacking and cravings. Now, this is going to sound super obvious when I say it, but if you're calorie dense and heavy in your evenings and you're tending to snack and eat more in your evenings, I can almost guarantee you it's because you're skipping breakfast or you don't have much to start with at the beginning of your day. And this isn't just my opinion, this is backed up by evidence-based research. Research has shown time and time again that starting your day with with at least 30 grams of protein earlier on in your day, ideally at breakfast, is going to support your appetite and your satiety throughout the day. But it's also going to reduce your snacking and your late night cravings and wanting to turn to the fridge or the pantry in the evening as well. So start your day with at least 30 grams of protein for breakfast. Secondly, and this is where I see a lot of women trip up, if I had a penny for every time I asked a client or a woman starting with me on her health and fitness journey what she had for lunch, 9 times out of 10, the answer I get is a protein bar, I skipped lunch, or they had a salad. And by salad, they mean like a garden side salad, not like a substantial proper meal. And I get it. In the middle of the day, you're probably at your most busy with, whether you're at work or you've got stuff going on. So it's very easy to just skip lunch and or just have something that's a snack that's not a substantial meal. So the second tip, the practical step that I want you to take, is to have a large voluminous salad that's high in protein and fiber for lunch. And I'm going to give you 5 steps to create this salad so it's super easy for you to do. You're going to start by taking a palm-sized serving of protein and starting and building your salad around that, whether it's chicken, fish, whatever you want to put in there. The second is you're going to add in high volume veggies. This can be a combo of leafy greens or colorful veggies like broccoli, beetroot, zucchini, whatever you want, just chuck that in there. The third is you're going to choose a carbohydrate. So this could be like brown rice, sweet potato, pumpkin, anything there. Adding in a palm-sized serving of that. And then the fourth is you want to choose healthy fats. Now with healthy fats, you ideally just want a thumb-sized serving, so maybe some avocado or some cheese or some tahini. And the fifth thing is to add whatever flavor booster you want to add in. So this could be herbs or spices, it could be some lemon or lime juice in there, a drizzle of olive oil, which could also tie into the healthy fats if that's what you want to use for your healthy fats as well as your flavor booster. But just be mindful that a salad should feel dense and fulfilling. It shouldn't feel like the garden salad like that you get on the side of your meal. It should feel substantial and filling for you. Just be mindful, though, that there are some dressings and sauces that are obviously higher in calories. So if you're someone on a weight loss journey, you just want to be a bit mindful around that. And the final practical tip that I want to leave you with today is actually got nothing to do with food or nutrition, which might surprise you if you're someone that's like, well, I tend to snack a lot and I have a lot of cravings, so surely the answer's found in my food. But truthfully, over the last 11 years, coaching hundreds and hundreds of women to a lasting and successful transformation, the thing that I see time and time again when it comes to someone who is struggling with cravings is I can guarantee it almost comes down to these 2 things. Number 1, a lack of protein in your diet, and number 2, a lack of quality sleep. So sleep impacts our hunger hormones. In fact, research has shown us that even getting 1 hour less of sleep a night can increase our food consumption by up to 500 calories. Now that's something that you consume without thinking about it, right? Your body just gravitates to the other energy source that it has if it's not getting it from sleep. So sleep is actually the third practical step that I have for you. And I was actually speaking to a client about this earlier today. Most of us aim for 8 hours sleep because we're told that's the golden standard or the golden rule when it comes to sleep is to aim for 8 hours. But what you probably don't know is that 8-hour standard actually came from tests done on men, not women. And new research has shown that if you're a woman in perimenopause, you might need closer to 9 or 10 hours sleep. In fact, one study actually showed that women in perimenopause in the luteal phase of their cycle actually needed closer to 10 hours of sleep. All of this to say that you are your own scientist with your body. There are some women that can happily feel rested and energized and rejuvenated off 7-8 hours sleep. And there are women who do definitely need more. So this is about you figuring out what is best for you and your body and where that recovery line lies for you and how much sleep and recovery that you need. But in terms of getting a good quality sleep, you want to ensure that you have a regular bedtime the same way you have a regular wake time. And you want to protect that last 30 minutes or 30 to 60 minutes before you turn off the light, in order to calm both your mind and your body. Now, if sleep is something you struggle with, I highly recommend taking the Peri Protocol Assessment that is in the show notes, because this will give you a personalised report that'll help you with practical steps that meet you where you are at in order to improve this.